All right, what is up, family? What is up? Your boy is in the car, about to head places, handle some business today. Boy, I'm ashy as hell out here. Um, so the morning after, we got our ass embarrassed on primetime TV by a team that literally was missing pretty much half its damn team. Um, to an embarrassing ass loss, 10-20. Uh, Left a lot of Falcons fans feeling a certain way. Um, Hold on, let me get this. I gotta lotion up my legs, family. Um, so last night I get off the stream, calm myself down. Um, Slept good. Slept good last night, actually. Slept like a baby. Woke up this morning and I thought to myself, this franchise has been letting the fans down now for, if you take 2016 out of the equation, bro, damn near more than a decade. But it goes back further than that. I stated in a previous video, if y'all can hear me, man, let me know, because I'm in the car. I stated in a previous video, the Falcons under Arthur Blank's reign have really yet to hire a tenured coach, a coach with some experience um, prior to coming here. People try to call Raheem Morris that guy, but Raheem Morris is a retread. And he was an interim head coach. And they thought so much of Raheem Morris when he was the interim coach, they went with another hire. So I'm at a point. Let me this. I'm a Falcons fan, but what the pure incompetence that front office and these coaches have continued to exhibit. And not only that, you're wasting these players years here. You got guys on rookie contracts still. Drake London's still on his rookie. Bijan's still on his rookie. I think Tyler's going to come up here. I think next year. You gotta either exercise Kyle Pitts' fifth year option or dump him. Look at the incompetence at the head coaching. Look at the incompetence since we've drafted these players. Both of these guys should be coordinators. Arthur Smith is now a coordinator, and he needs to stay that way. Raheem Morris will never get another head coaching job after this. I can guarantee you that. But it seems like we purposely go out and hire people that are not equipped for the job. I'll take it a step further. 2016, we lose the Super Bowl. Painful experience. Atlanta didn't waste any time hiring a collegiate guy with no NFL fucking experience in Steve Sarkisian. And our offense fell off a fucking cliff. He was a one and done guy, went right back down to college. I don't know why Atlanta does this. Why is it these first timers or guys that are long in the tooth, like Dean Pease, game has passed them by. Atlanta says, fuck it, we'll ride with them. They do this to players too. Sean Weatherspoon. This is an organizational thing. And the ones that pay for it is us at the end of the day. These players don't pay for it. They're getting paid millions of dollars to play this sport. The coaches don't really pay for it because they're making millions of dollars themselves, and they know if they get fired, they'll get rehired in some type of positional position coach's slot. But it's us who has to wake up every morning, deal with the social media ha-has, and we're doing this shit for free. That's why being a Falcons fan is one of the hardest things to do. And I'm at a point now, man. I don't think Arthur wants a title. One, he keeps Rich McKay around, which I don't understand why. But it's at a point to where I think our owner don't give a fuck about no chips at all. He just has a team. Because and here's the thing. People were on me about firing Raheem last year. And my point last year is, why are you going to keep him for another year when you're only going to fire him? That makes zero sense. And only in sports can somebody be mediocre at their fucking job and get a pass for it. So if we don't make the playoffs this year, which it's trending that way, they're going to fire Raheem anyway. So my argument then is, why the fuck did you waste another year? You should have known from last year this wasn't the guy. But instead, you put it on Jimmy Lake. You fired Jimmy Lake. My thing is, yeah, Jimmy Lake was trash, but look who brought the trash in the house. So are we going to blame the trash for being in the house, or the person that brought the trash in the house? And he brought 2 bags of trash. And you had better prospects out there to hire as your head coach that had better experience than Raheem Morris. So now the people that have been in this house since it's been built, we have to sit around and deal with this trash being in the house for another fucking year. Dude, even though we didn't put up no points against Carolina, last night was a worse loss. San Francisco was depleted on defense, and you put up 10 motherfucking points. They came with the blitz, and you had no answer for it. No outlets. I sat there and watched that motherfucker again. And I noticed Mac Jones always had an outlet. Christian McCaffrey was never too far from the line of scrimmage. So there was always an outlet to dump it off to. Go back and watch that fourth quarter, fam. It was just down the fucking field. No creativity, just none. And I'm like, I'm at a point to where I'm 44. I'm fucking tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I am tired. I can't pay. My fandom is so pure, I don't even need to wear jerseys anymore. People know what time it is. But fam, I'm reaching my Joe Hallenbeck point in this motherfucker, man. This team has talent. This team has generational talent on it. How in the fuck are you Again, people say coaching doesn't matter. Explain our defense. We went from one of the worst defenses of last year to the best this year. You think that happened because players took an offseason and decided they wanted to fucking get better? Or was it because we fucking put a coordinator in there that knows what the fuck they're doing? The difference between our coordinators on defense, one guy knows what he's doing. The other guy should have never been hired. So we got bags of trash that we need to dump. And to sit there and watch Raheem, oh, it's embarrassing, we'll take care of it. He sounds like Arthur Smith. Y'all notice these coaches sound the same. Every coach we get sounds the exact fucking same. We'll get it fixed. It should have never been broke to begin with. And this isn't the first time you've brought this team out here, and this team is flat from the jump. It's not the first time. It's not the second. This is a running theme. As a coach, you're so high on the wins. You forget we got another fucking game next week. You start putting a 4, 5, and 6 win streak up. You start putting that up, yeah. Then you can settle down in the press conferences. Then you talking shit. This should have been a 3-game win streak, and you put that product out there on the field. And here's the thing, Raheem knows Zach's trash. He knows it. He knows Zach is trash. But firing Zach Robinson is basically his pink slip too. Because he brought Zach and he brought Jimmy in here. That's probably the reason why they fired Ike Hilliard. Because he knew he couldn't fire Zach. That would have meant he's incompetent as a coach, because these are the two guys that you brought in here, and within a year and a half, both of them fired. So Ike Hilliard had to get under the blade. And Ray McLeod had an issue with that. Because everybody knew that the wrong person got fired. And it's even worse because this man, Ike ain't making millions of dollars. So now this man's got to find his livelihood. Meanwhile, Zach's got a goddamn college job waiting for him, no matter what the result is. But you still chose to fire Ike. I guarantee you that's what Ray was talking about. Everybody knows this guy's trash. Everybody knows it. And now we got a quarterback out there who's unsure of himself. So again, man, I've reached the point. I'm gonna get the Falcons this offseason. If Raheem's still our coach next year, I'm definitely boycotting. No videos from your boy. And I'm dead serious. I'm dead ass serious with that shit. Y'all won't see a single fucking video from me next year if this motherfucker is here. I can guarantee you that. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough. This type of incompetence has to fucking stop in Atlanta. Because I don't know of a lot of other fan bases as loyal as us. I don't. And for us to be fully invested in this team, when it's clear, the guys that are the most important guys are holding us back. And your owner is just sitting there allowing this shit to happen. But I'm telling you, that's probably why Ray will probably get traded. He'll probably get traded for speaking truth. Y'all fired the wrong fucking person. The person that should have got fired is the one that y'all brought down from the sideline, which we had been screaming earlier last year. This motherfucker needs to be on the sideline. We've been talking about that since last year. But you finally do it after you get embarrassed by a team that's really beneath you. Now, all of a sudden, drastic changes need to be made. So what's the change? What's the change this week? Who y'all gonna fire? Y'all gonna put Kirk Cousins in? What y'all gonna do? What's the fix? Because you're inconsistent, wildly inconsistent. What's the fucking fix, Raheem? I don't trust this fix at all, because the game that you had to have last year was Carolina, and you lost that one because the defense was so fucking horrible that game. But you let Jimmy Lake call it anyway. Maybe you did it to save your ass, because I guarantee you he rolled Jimmy Lake right up underneath the bus. But again, how are you fired? Think about this. He came in when he was underqualified. Raheem Morris was not qualified to be a head coach, period. And if y'all want to know how I felt about this, that video's still up when we hired Raheem. I literally was like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, oh, okay, apparently he's got a plan, so let's fucking roll with it. And in the earlier press conferences, he won a lot of people over. I'm like, okay. But on the field, we saw this man keep timeouts in his pocket. Time of possession, terrible. And this wasn't his first year as a coach, by the way. This was his second bite at the apple. The Washington game that we needed last year, I can solely put on him. Eberflus got fired for doing the same exact shit your boy did. But not attempting a field goal to tie the game up. How much more we got to put up with this, bro? How much more do we got to put up with this? Honestly. My thing is this. I'm not trying to wait for the end of the season to fire him when I already know he's not qualified for the job. I'll give you an example. Let's say you hire a contractor to do some work on the house, right? Let's say it's a big project. Gonna take about 3 to 4 months. Inside of the first month, you just notice, they moving slow. The work don't really look good. And then the contractor says, hey, listen, man, I know it looks bad right now, but we're going to get it squared away. Another month passes, same shit. Looks the exact same. Are you going to wait to see the end result when you can already tell this ain't going the way that you expected? Or are you going to get another goddamn contractor? This is what's maddening about sports, bruh. You already know this guy ain't it. You know, they know this. They know Raheem ain't the guy. So if you know he ain't the guy, fucking show him the door. Fucking show him the door. Well, Mark, who you gonna put as the interim? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I do not care. Let me emphasize that. I don't give a fuck who you put as an interim. He's not the guy. He's not it. And take Zach with you. And this will give Atlanta time to come up with a plan on who they're gonna fucking hire as a coach. I'm done with the first timers. I'm done. I'm off that train. I'm off that train, bro. I don't want to see another first time head nothing here until you win something. I don't want to see it. Well, Atlanta's decided to hire offensive coordinator. I'm clocking out. I'm clocking out, fam. I'm telling you. I'm dead ass serious. I am so serious. Because that tells me Atlanta ain't learned shit. That front office hasn't learned shit from the last decade. Arthur Smith didn't work. Raheem Morris didn't work. That's 6 years off your fan base's life. And you had better options. Did you? Especially with Raheem Morris, especially with this coaching cycle that Raheem Morris was in. You had better choices. You had better choices. That's who you decided to get with. They didn't want to hire Bill because Bill probably wanted full control. Rich McKay should have no fucking control over this roster, nothing. So the front office probably said, hey man, if you hire Bill, Bill's gonna want to do this, he's gonna want to do that. And my thought process, as if I were an owner, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's got 7 chips as a coach. Well, you know, that was Tom Brady. How Tom Brady get to New England, bro? Whose decision was it to tell Drew Bledsoe, hey, we're gonna run with the young stud? Whose decision was that? And let's not act like in a couple of those Super Bowls, especially the one with the Rams, when the Patriots played the Rams, that was a defensive masterpiece from Bill Belichick. The Patriots wasn't doing shit offensively till the fourth quarter. Them facts. That was an absolute masterpiece. And don't forget, he beat us. But now, okay, you don't get Bill. I think at that time, who else was on the market? The head coach of the Patriots. Now, and you see what the Patriots doing now. He was on. Raheem Morris should have been at the bottom of the barrel. And then it was so fast. It was so fast, fam. We thinking anytime now, we doing the Birdman hand rubbing anytime now, Belichick gonna be announced as the coach. And I mean, I'm talking about, dude, when I got the news, man, I did one of them Scooby-Doos. Huh? Raheem, what? Raheem wasn't even on the radar. But okay, whatever, let's roll. Some people gave him a lot of leeway because he's a black coach. Man, you know, that's crazy to fire, all these white coaches, they get time. Black coaches don't get any time. Here's the thing. There wasn't a lot of fixing that needed to be done here when Raheem got here. Mind you, that defense was that bad because your coordinator was trash. Them facts. We didn't start balling until Kirk just said, man, fuck this. I got this. Because there were cuffs put on Kirk the first couple of games. Oh, man, it was the knee, man. And no. That's why we're in pistol, because it's the knee. And we found out that was a lie because Michael Penix is in the goddamn pistol. But Kirk just said, man, fuck it. I got it from here. Then Kirk got injured. And then Kirk lied about being injured. And that season went downhill. But he's just not the guy, fam. He's not. Certain guys you can see it, just he ain't it. And that's okay. Y'all got to get somebody in here who knows what the fuck they're doing, who has an identity. What's our identity now? Besides Bijan. If our identity is Bijan, Lord help us if Bijan gets hurt. Because now we have no identity. But last night was a clear example of what this offense looks like if there is no Bijan. And that's play calling. Because you got weapons out here. Did Penix play good? Fuck no. He threw for, I think, 241 and a tutty. But I think Penix is getting frustrated because of the play calling. Listening to him last night, hey, we got to go back and look at tape. And these guys have to say certain things. You just can't come out and say, man, listen, my offensive coordinator trash. He don't have any creativity. Everybody knows where we're going. If we're in shotgun, everybody knows where we're going. If we're in pistol. He can't come out and say that. But again, when I look at somebody like Michael Penix, there are things that he needs to work on. Footwork being one of them. But that will come. You have to train that stay in the pockets by any means. You got to train that shit out of him. If there's nobody open down the field, if your first read ain't there, your second read ain't there, I don't care how bad these defenses are. You're playing in a pro sport. You don't have a lot of time to just sit back there and pat the fucking ball. You don't. So if you got a lane, go through that bitch. Get 5 or 6 yards, get down on the ground, live to make another play. Or if you can't even get it, just throw it away. And what I noticed from Michael Penix last night is there were certain plays when it wasn't there immediately, he just threw the ball away. And then on other plays where it's like, get rid of the ball, man. Do something to get rid of the ball. He's just in the pocket, waiting to get sacked. And credit to San Francisco. They came with the heat. But again, when you know our offense is predictable, yeah, send the heat. They're in the shotgun. Yeah, we're gonna send the heat. So I feel like, man, and one of the reasons why I'm definitely boycotting this shit don't change next year is the same reason why I stopped playing fantasy football. Fantasy football was stressing me the fuck out last year. And I was the top dog. I had the best year in my fantasy football career, only to lose in the first round. And I lost badly. And I said, man, you know what? It's time to hang it up. Time to hang it up, man. People were, hey, man, you started the league this year? And I almost started it up. I almost did. But deep down inside, I was kind of happy it didn't happen. And now I can watch football in peace when it comes to fantasy. I can watch it in peace now. And I can leave the game knowing I had 4 titles in 7 years. I'm good with that. I have bled red and black my entire life. My entire life. But it gets to a point to where fans have to stop taking the abuse. It's there now. And I'm one of those guys who I'm kind of fed up with it now. I miss 2016. I miss making the positive videos. I miss that shit. I mean, that's why when we win, I smoke on a pack heavy. Because I know this pack might not be here next week. So I'm going to enjoy this pack. Because next week, we might be the ones getting smoked on. There's no consistency week in and week out. There's none. That's a coaching problem. That's on the coach. When your team is inconsistent, that's on the coach. Notice how Detroit got embarrassed week 1. Detroit got embarrassed. And that ain't happening to us no more. Look at what's going on in Indy. They didn't change the culture in Indy. Daniel Jones was left for dead when the Giants. He wasn't good in New York, but everybody had written him off. Now they arguably the best team in the NFL. When you look at a lot of these changes, look at the coaches. John Harbaugh out there in Baltimore. Might be time for him to get up out of there. But again, when you look at Baltimore, they had been ravaged by injuries. And you can't win if you don't have your best players on the field. They've been ravaged. But even with that, week 1, they allowed the Bills to come back. So his situation might be an Andy Reid situation in Philadelphia, where Andy Reid had to part ways in Philly because they just couldn't get over the hump. And Andy Reid had a good tenure in Philly. Just couldn't get over the hump, man. So he went to KC. Now look. Players have to make plays. That's true. But coaches have to put them in the right positions to make plays. When you look at high-flying offenses, first place people look at is the coordinator. Look at Dallas. Dallas has the #1 offense in the NFL. The difference between them and us, they score. They put up a 40 piece before the 4th quarter. We can get up and down the field in the red zone, man. You might as well put Parker Romo out there on 1st down to take the field goal. Because we just wasting 3 downs. That's how I feel about it now. But we can't blame the players for this. This is coaching. And we have an absolute terrible head coach. And we have an absolute trash coordinator. See, most people let those 2 games rock them to sleep against Buffalo and Washington. But I said, man, your boy on probation. He should be up out of here, but he's on probation. I ain't get too high on Zach Robinson because, again, we should have put up 30 pieces in both games. Buffalo, we should have walked Buffalo down. We should have beat the brakes off of Buffalo. But he was playing to preserve the lead. I don't even want a coordinator like that. I want a coordinator that, if you on the ground, we still kicking on you. That's the type of coordinator I want. And he should have never got the gig, but at the same time, Raheem should have never got the gig. So there's a lot of football left to play. A lot. There's 11 weeks. A lot can happen in 11 weeks. I just don't see Atlanta doing anything. And I'd love to be wrong, fam. Trust me, I love to sit here and eat crow. I love to sit here and smoke on packs. This team is just too wildly inconsistent on offense. And it's not like when they're on, they're scoring tons of points. So even when the offense is clicking, our ceiling really is like 23 points. You give me a better coordinator on offense, we probably have one legitimate loss on the record this year. Because this defense has been doing their part. They've been doing their part. You look at Carolina, I think they gave up in the second half, I think most of their points were all field goals. What the fuck is the defense supposed to do at that point? They're only giving up field goals. Your team can't fucking score at all. Your team can't even get in field goal range. But we beat, and here's the thing. We beat Washington without Jaden Daniels. We beat Buffalo without the majority of their good players. Now listen, it is what it is. I'm going to take them dubs. But that speaks volumes. Then you lose to a team that's completely depleted. So you don't even know who you getting when you have teams coming in with injuries galore. This is why I'm on that type of time. Now, this don't mean I'm leaving the franchise. Y'all got to be fucking kidding me on that. I'm boycotting if Raheem Morris is here or they hire a first-time anything as a head coach. I'm boycotting next year. I'm boycotting. I'm dead ass serious. I'm still going to watch our games, but I'm boycotting, bruh. I ain't going to have no emotion into the next season. None. Because that shows me this team ain't serious, man. They're not. The front office isn't serious. Because how do you keep repeating the same fucking shit over and over and over again? If there's a tenured coach this next coaching cycle, and y'all go after a first time anything, bro, I'm boycotting. Yeah, I'm boycotting. I might not watch the games. I got to be in true Joe Hallenbeck fashion. I'm gonna sit out. Now I'll probably be back the year after, but man, we got to stand on business. We got to stand on business as fans and demand more from this fucking organization. Rich McKay is a leech. His only job is survival. We have to get somebody in here who knows who's been somewhere. Not a coordinator. Because again, Ulbrich is a fantastic defensive coordinator. He couldn't right the ship in New York as an interim. Plus, I want his focus to be on nothing but defense. And there might be a possibility Ulbrich ain't here next year if he keeps coaching the way he's coaching defense. Somebody might pluck him for a head coaching gig. So I'm at a point, man, to where they got a great product. You got the ingredients. The chefs are awful though. The chefs can't cook. They can't cook. The ingredients right there. At this point, I wouldn't trust Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris to make chicken fettuccine or chicken Alfredo. I wouldn't trust them. They got the ingredients right here. And it's, hey, Bijan. Man, well, you know, Kyle Pitts is balling out, baby. Bijan. Hey, man, you know, Darnell Mooney's been out of football shape. We need Bijan. Hey, man, Algier, he put up 1,000 in his rookie. Bijan. Hey, I don't think y'all should sit Ray, man. Ray's a Bijan. That's Zach's. That is literally Zach's thing. Every play is drawn up for Bijan. And last night, San Francisco showed y'all, once y'all take Bijan out of the game, this happens. Zach don't know where to go. We can argue about how that last San Francisco touchdown should have never been ruled a touchdown, and it should have never been ruled a touchdown. But let's be real, man. Our offense wasn't hitting on nothing all night. So whether he scored or not didn't make a difference, even if we stopped them and they would have went for 3 points. How confident were y'all that Atlanta was going to go down there and score a tutty? Dude, the only tutty that we got was all work from Bijan, doing Bijan shit. He's been covering for Zach Robinson's impotence since he's been here. Man, honestly, if you don't have Bijan, real talk, Raheem would have been fired last year. Zach would have been fired. Zach wouldn't have been here. But man, I'm at a point to where it is what it is. Can Atlanta make a run? Maybe. I'm not gonna lose no sleep over it. This team is far from where it needs to be offensively. And the danger of this is when you don't have a good coordinator, it makes your quarterback look bad. You got people talking about Michael Penix ain't ready. Real shit. Penix ain't ready. Because he played so bad last night. But when you look at some of this play calling, it's like the screen to Kyle Pitts, that hasn't worked all year, by the way. It's like, what? Why are we still doing this shit? So that's where I stand right now, fam. I'm letting y'all know this right now. And in weeks, going into week 7, they ain't up out of here. I am. I'm boycotting next year. If Raheem is the head coach, we can go to this. If Raheem's here and we go to the Super Bowl next year, I'm still boycotting. I don't even think we can go to the Super Bowl, Raheem. If Raheem's here next year, I'm out. Y'all won't hear from me for that year. I think we as fans have to take a drastic stand at this point, bruh. Because the incompetence has been on 10 for years. And we have to sit here. We're the ones that pay for it at the end, honestly. You look at New Orleans. You look at those fans right now. They have mentally clocked out. Does that make them a less fan? No. I've seen some Saints fans talk about, I'm good. I'm not watching the rest of the season. That's taking a fucking stand. Man, team getting whooped on, man. We ain't got nothing to look forward to this year. Why am I gonna sit here and stress myself out? Now I'm gonna watch every one of these games. Don't get it twisted. But I understand where the Saints are coming from. They taking a goddamn stand. Hey, listen, if y'all gonna continue losing for the rest of the season, let's get a good draft spot, maybe one or two. I don't know who the fuck they gonna draft. They didn't drafted like 2 or 3 quarterbacks. But their team wasn't even built to do anything this year, though. That's why I'm irritated, because ours was. New Orleans wasn't. I told y'all this early in the season, what the Saints were gonna do this year. Nothing. Hold on for a second, fam. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I told y'all they weren't gonna do a damn thing. Because I looked at their roster and I said, they ain't going nowhere. Then I saw who their quarterback was. Oh, they definitely ain't going nowhere. So it's not shocking to me New Orleans are where they are. What's shocking is where the fuck we are. But again, people watch these press conferences, and shame on our goddamn local media. Shame on them. Y'all need to start holding the and I get it, it's media. They have to be PG. But god damn it, D-Led. Just get raw with Raheem, man. Are you comfortable that you're going to be the head coach for the rest of the season? Be honest. What's going on with Zach? Have y'all had discussions about that? Just keep it a buck. Raheem can't look at how we lost and say, yeah, my job's straight. My job's straight. I'm good. I'm good. I don't see myself getting fired. And no. I like you, bruh. I like you. You gonna let Raheem get you up out of here too. And the fact that we feel this way with the team that's built shows you it's not Terry's fault. Terry got Bijan here, Drake London here, Kyle Pitts here, Michael Penix here, Kirk Cousins here, Taylor here, Pierce here, Jesse Bates here, Xavier Watts, Diablo, who's turned. These guys are studs. Got all these guys here. So who the fuck is at fault? Bergeron. Who's at fault here? I've given you the ingredients to cook. And I'll be goddamned if we got the wrong chef in this motherfucker. So now everybody eating subpar meals. We should be snacking strong right now, going back for seconds. They can't cook, fam. Raheem can't cook. And it's okay. We got that person in the family that can't cook. They watch YouTube videos and, get in there and try some new shit. They just can't cook. Baby, it's okay. They don't know how to season. They either under season or they overseason. It's okay. Let somebody else cook. I'm at that point. We need a better chef in here. And I'm not saying first time guys don't work. They work other places. The first time guys we get, I mean, you look at Mike Smith. Mike Smith brought a winning culture. Then got towards the end, he kind of lost his way. We get Dan Quinn in here. We go to a Super Bowl, go to a playoff. Their biggest mistake is hiring Steve Sarkisian immediately. Then after that, downhill. Then you bring Arthur Smith in. Arthur Smith was given leeway for 2 years because the cupboard was bare. We were still handcuffed by Julio's contract. We were still handcuffed by Matt's contract. But he didn't move the needle. So you have 3 prior first-time guys. You make it to the Super Bowl once. You make it to the NFC Championship game twice. And this is since Mike Smith's tenure. And you've had generational talent guys here. You had Julio here. You've had some great players come through here under these tenures. And you don't have nothing to really show for it. A couple of 12-win seasons, 2 NFC Championship appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance, which it'll go down as the worst loss in Super Bowl history. That's what you got. The common denominator is all these guys were first-timers. Inexperience at the top. And what's going to be tricky this offseason, because again, teams are going to be looking at Ulbrich. Teams are going to be looking at him. If you can somehow keep Ulbrich as your defensive coordinator and get somebody offensive-minded in here, I'm talking about somebody that legitimately has been on a team and has legitimately put up points. You got to have that as your OC. I don't want no first inexperience. I don't want that shit. I don't want it. They gotta bring some clout. Not I work with this a buddy of mine, man. I worked with him at my last job. Does he have any experience here? Nah, man, nah. But he's a great worker. He's a great worker. I vouch for him. That's how Zach and Jimmy got the job. That's how they got the job. No, man. They haven't had any coordinated experience. But listen to me now. I work with both of them. They're hard workers, man. They come to the job. They're real serious and passionate. That's how they got it. And look at what happened. Look at what's happening. So again, this coaching cycle, I'll be paying attention. I will be paying attention. We don't know who's going to be out there yet because, again, nobody's got fired because the season is still relatively young. And, there'll be some people like, man, Mark, the season ain't over with, man. You doom and gloom right now. Fam, listen to me. I'd love to be wrong. I would absolutely love to be wrong. I would love for this team to wake up Sunday, go out there and beat the brakes. Not just playing to win. Beat the brakes off what is Miami? We got Miami next, I think. I would love to see them beat the brakes off of New England. We just ain't seen it. We haven't seen it thus far. We've seen them control games. We've seen them control time of possession. Dirty Bird says, what happened if they lose to Miami? It's a strong possibility, man. Miami's only got one win on the season. Tyreek Hill is out for the foreseeable future. That might be, he definitely gone this year. And they're not a good team. They're not a good team. So on paper, you should beat them. But on paper, you should have beat San Francisco. So we don't know. We don't know what team's showing up. We don't know what team's showing up. We don't. And it seems like if this team comes and gets a win, they're so high off that win, the next game they play flat. This is what happens when you play just to win and not dominate. Dude, the defense gave this offense opportunities to not only take the lead, they gave them multiple opportunities. And the offense was just like, no, we good. We like being down by 3. And see, that's why people go back, like myself, to 2016. We were not only beating teams, we were beating the living shit out of these teams. There were 2 or 3 games where Matt Ryan was pulled in the fourth quarter. That's how dominant these wins were. Matt didn't even play the fourth quarter. That mindset of we're going to go out and we are going to absolutely destroy teams. What's up, Big Low? Big Low said, man, I came out here to Cali for 10 freaking points. Yeah, man. I bet you that was a long trip home. Jay says we got spoiled by that 2016 year. It's not that we got spoiled. It was the mentality. The points are one thing. The mentality was different. The mentality was we're going to go out here and stomp the shit out of this team. We're not playing just to win. We're playing to dominate them. That was the mentality. That we don't have that mentality right now with this coordinator. We don't. We just simply don't. Every game is a struggle. Every single game, no matter who we play, if we're playing a team that's destined to go to the playoffs or we're playing a team that is 1 win, it's a struggle. I always say this. People that aren't fans of a Falcons game, just skip the first 3 quarters and watch the fourth quarter. It's always the same, no matter who you play. That is the sign of a bad team right there. If you struggle against every single team you play up to competition and you play down to competition. That's coaching. That's coaching. We saw it in the Buffalo game. Our defense was so strong, Buffalo literally couldn't do anything. But that offense wasn't really doing too much. There was some missed opportunities to score, yes. But I'm waiting on the team that's putting foot to neck on opponents. It hasn't shown up yet. So we'll see what comes with this, man. Again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I'm just telling y'all where I stand on this. I've been off the Raheem Morris bandwagon, period. But now I'm at that point to where it's either me or him. That's how I look at it from a Falcons fan standpoint. It's either me or him. One of us gonna be gone next year. And I'm positive he's gonna be the one that's gone. I'm positive. I was here way before Raheem. I was here way before Raheem even stepped foot in Atlanta on that field. And I'll be here long after him. But Atlanta, front office, don't ever get wooed by these interviews again. I don't know what this man told y'all at this interview. I have no idea. I have none. I believe it's a bunch of bullshit. I believe his interview didn't woo y'all. He was probably the cheapest coach y'all can get and a get in line coach. I'm not going to rock the boat coach. That's probably why y'all hired this boy. And why you didn't hire Bill. Why you didn't hire one of these other candidates that actually has some tenure to him, that actually has some juice to him. Because you knew you would have to concede some type of power. And if power supersedes us winning, whoever is trying to maintain that power, y'all need to get him the fuck out of here. Because it's not about one person. You know, the fan base, you know, one beat, one sound. I swear to y'all, I don't want to make videos dragging anybody. No, I don't. I don't. I want to smoke on a pack, talk about how we whoop this team's ass and who's next. Them are the dope bit. I love making them videos. Why I can smoke on a pack. I don't like making these. But things have to change. They have to. Raheem is not fit to be this coach. He's not fit to be our coach. He's not. He's just not. He's not. The adjustments, they're blitzing. Salah's telling you, hey, listen, we're going to duck off in man coverage. We're going to have a couple plays where it looks like we're going to blitz. We're going to show 4. But for the most part, third down, we coming. Zach is on the field. Raheem, you can just walk over there and just simply say, you know they're blitzing, right? Give me a goddamn blitz beater. Not, okay, we're going to run verticals. This is why I could not be a coach, bro. I could not be a head coach. Me and Zach would have had words. They would have caught that on camera. Because the first time that happened, I would have went over there and I said, one more again. You let me see that one more again, where you put our goddamn quarterback in that position. One more again. And then I'm going to walk away from him. The next third down, I'm looking direct. I ain't even looking at the play. I'm looking directly at Zach Robinson the entire time. That better be a first down. This honestly is a fireable game for Zach. I keep trying to tell y'all. 10 points? How many times y'all got to call Zach Robinson up to the office? Fuck happened last night? Well, man, you know, they play good defense, man. And really? All them people missing off defense. That's your excuse. Dude, they put another play caller in that. Their other play caller got hurt. They were on their third defensive play caller. Motherfucker just walked on the field last night. $10 points. That's all you can get us. Yeah, man. You know they had a good game plan for Bijan, man, and you know it was just yeah. You know I had a bad showing. You know I'll get better though. You know I'll pick up the pace. Man, get the fuck out of my office. Then I'm calling him up. Man, not only are you on thin ice, bruh, one of them blades is already cracked in the ice. Any given time now, it cracked. You brought this motherfucker in here. You brought him in here. We ain't asked. We ain't asked. This is why I know that interview is bullshit. Because I'd have to honestly go research this and see when is the last time a head coach brought a first time offensive and defensive coordinator at the same time that had zero experience at that position. I'm honestly gonna look that shit up. But if the front office is smart, they'll never let that happen again. Keona says in Tennessee fired their coach, Florida fired their coach. Why can't we do it? It's again, we should have fired him last year. But for whatever reason, they decided to give him another year. So now we have to endure this. See, that's the part I don't like. The fan base has to endure another year of what the fuck isms. When last year we knew this guy wasn't qualified. Last year we knew this guy wasn't the guy. We knew this last year. So now we got to torture through this year to get him up out of here. And if that's the price I got to pay to guarantee that he's gone, I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually good with sacrificing the season if Raheem get the fuck up out of here at the end of it. But it shouldn't take 2 seasons. He shouldn't have got the job. Now, when we go into exit, which I probably need to start doing, we go into the X's and O's of this stuff, I can show y'all where we going wrong on offense. One, it's predictable. When you're playing the pistol, the majority, now he got under center a couple times last night, but the majority of the time he's in the pistol. Right? We do this more than any team by a long shot. So you're predictable there. Then they were doing these weird. There were a couple of times where it was a play action, but it wasn't really. Like Michael Penix was just turning. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's a new wrinkle. You know, there was some motion. There was one where you had Bijan come from he was in a receiver slot. He came down in motion. Then he came around to the backfield. And I'm like, that's not fooling nobody. Like I get it. He's coming across the formation so you can see whether they're playing man or whether they're playing zone. I get that. But then you wrap around the back. And I'm like, if you got a defender that has a running start, I know Bijan is going to dodge it. That's still tricky though. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and get up out of here, fam. I just wanted to discuss that. Is it time for us to take a stand? I feel like it is. Because we as a fan base we've endured so much already. So much to have a team that is put together well. It is put together well, and it's being absolutely destroyed by coaches. So I am firmly taking a stand. If this motherfucker is here next year, I'm not. I'm boycotting the year. No videos from me. Nothing. I'm boycotting. Now, I'm still a Falcons fan through and through. That's why I can say that and not worry about my fandom being touched. But I got to stand on business. You bring a first timer in here, I'm still boycotting. I'm standing on business. Because it hasn't worked yet. Y'all keep doing the same shit. It has not work. Matter of fact, it's getting worse. You haven't been to the playoffs since 2017. Imagine this. There was somebody that was born in 2017. They know how to read and write now. That's how long it's been since you've been to playoffs. Somebody was born in 2017. And now they know how to read books. They probably know how to use a phone now. They know how to do all that. HM3, what's going on? He says, would you take John Harbaugh? That I would. And the reason I would is because I think it's one of those Andy Reid situations. Harbaugh has been there for a long time, man. For a very, very long time. And with a guy like that, who's a proven coach, he's a proven coach. Sometimes a change of scenery does you good. Same thing with Mike Tomlin. You know, if they finally say, hey, listen, you know, we're going to move in another space, again, I'd take Mike Tomlin. These are proven guys. These aren't guys that haven't done shit. These guys have actually done something. They've been to that pinnacle. So I would take Harbaugh. I would take Mike Tomlin. I'm not taking none of these guys you ain't never heard of. And the Falcons announced Steve McCribbs as their head coach. Who? Who the fuck is Steve McCribbs? Goddamn offensive line coach in Cincinnati or some. No, that ain't gonna do it. Tom Leggett. I don't want to hear no name I gotta Google, bro. None. Motherfucker. Steve Bowers. Huh? Why you hiring motherfuckers with action hero names? That ain't moving the needle for me. Doug Masterson. Like, motherfucker sounds like a porn star. I'm not, fam, I'm telling you. Any first timer shouldn't even be goddamn interviewed at this point. The only first timer I'm gonna let ride, and technically he wouldn't be a first timer, if y'all elevated Ulbrich up to the head coach. I'd be like, yeah, that little partial time in the Jets, but fuck it, let's ride. That's the only name. That's the only name that I'm gonna be okay with. We found Douglas Steele on Black You know, listen, they be having those names, especially on the college level. I don't know why they naming these kids this. Gunner. Huh? That's that motherfucker's real Gunner. Gunner Stockton. Like, boy, whoever, you can tell daddy named that kid. I named you. I knew you were going to be greatness, son. I knew you were going to be greatness. But again, what's going on, Nate? But again, fam, I'm not going for no rookies at the head coach position. Not doing it. We need a guy that is proven. And again, if at the end of it is if Harbaugh is there, at which it might look like that might happen. And I mean, Harbaugh's got a justified reason for why they are where they are. Bam, we ain't got nobody playing. But if Baltimore finally decides, hey, we need to move in a different direction, and he's on the market, I'm canceling Christmas. What do you need? His interview process is going to be very simple. What do you need? Atlanta needs to go after a coach like that if he hits the market. That way, what you're telling the fan base is, listen, we got somebody that's established. He's done some things. You don't even have to explain his resume to us. You don't even have to explain the resume speaks for itself. When Raheem got hired, the only thing, what resume? Losing record as a head coach in Tampa. Y'all liked him so much when he was an interim, y'all hired Arthur Smith? Like, y'all gonna have to explain this to us. Oh, the interview was incredible. He must have sucked some dick then. Because I don't know what this man said. But yeah, man, you know, I'm telling, man, I might have to start doing some Judge Joe Brown Mondays after the game. I'm gonna have to start explaining this game to y'all like Judge Joe Brown. I'm gonna have to start doing it, man. Just jump in that bag. You know, Raheem, when he was here as an interim, there were a lot of things, particularly pertaining to the defense, when he took over, and he made a lot of good connections between him and Rich McKay. Then he went to the Rams, and the Rams won a championship. So uh, they had Bill on the table, and Bill had came, and Bill had a list of demands of what he wanted to get this team right. And a lot of it was control of the roster and the draft, complete control, and they weren't ready to give that away. So Rich McKay gave a call to Raheem Morris and said, "Hey, come interview with us. We're kind of interested." The particulars get a little fuzzy, you see, but at the end of the day, when he came out of there and wiped his mouth, he had the job. Unfortunately, the fan base has had to suffer through this, but you know, he had paid his penance in the interview room, and now they have to see it through. Now, chances are he's gonna get let go, uh, and they'll go back to the drawing table. But you know, as far as I can tell, and as far as the eye can see, this looks like it's gonna be a divorce at the end of the season. Uh, and you know, let me go back for a few. Back in 92. Uh, Back in 92, this franchise had to make another decision that would prove to be fatal to a certain degree and put the franchise kind of in purgatory for a little bit and that type of shit, right? So it's going to be one of them situations, man, where you can't play chicken with the fan base. Because I think the fan base has come to this conclusion. Y'all make playoffs this year, motherfucker, y'all better do something in the offseason. But the guy keeps telling you the truth. He's getting out coached. All that stuff. No, what do you tell the fan base when you got your head coach sitting here talking about he's being out coached by a subpar, sub-minimal team? They're without the corners. They're without defensive linemen. They don't have the wide receiver, and you lose to a team like that. What are you supposed to tell your fan base? See, where I'm from, you got to man up. And right now, your front office, they need to man up and take care of man business. They need to stand on something, because if they don't, the fan base is going to call themselves not buying jerseys and no longer fighting that Atlanta traffic to go watch these games that they're supposed to win, but they lose. And that's just the harsh reality of NFL sports. Fan bases clock out when your coach is no longer feasible or attainable to be a head coach. When you're getting out coached and your offensive coordinator is in over his head and should have never been hired in the first place, and you got your quarterback looking awful. I thought that was Geno Smith out there for a second, but then I had to look at it and I'm like, that's not Geno Smith. That's Michael Penix out there looking like Geno Smith. You can't look that terrible and then not look your offensive coordinator in the eye and wonder what the hell is going on with the play calling. Hey, man, hey, listen, I might have to do that so I could say a lot of stuff and get away with it. Because, hey, listen, Judge Joe Brown old as hell, so his filter is off. But yeah, man, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'll be over this by tomorrow, though. I'm not gonna hold this loss for the rest of the week. I'll be over it tomorrow, and then we'll be looking towards Sunday. It's always an adventure. I will say that. Sunday, it's like Forrest Gump said, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get with this offense. You never know. But we got to get somebody in here who doesn't take a loss like that lightly. This team should be playing angry for the rest of the season. When you lose a game like you did in Carolina, when you lose this game like the way you did, you should be playing angry for the rest of the season. Ain't no more celebrations when you win. It should just be an expectation. You win, okay, we going to go in the locker room. Somebody going to get a game ball. All right, y'all take showers, get the fuck up out of here. That's how it should be. Let's see. Jay says we definitely need a culture shift after this season. Winning the press conference got to stop. He ain't even winning the press conference no more. Hey, listen, he behind the sticks in the press conference. Raheem Morris is getting flagged in the press conference. This motherfucker losing yardage in the press conference. He ain't even winning them no more. Because you done pretty much lost the fan base. Nobody believes what you're saying at this point. Everybody's at the prove it stage. Everybody's at the prove it stage now. We don't give a fuck what you say at this press conference. Prove it. It'll get fixed. Prove it. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I always liked about Bill Belichick. Them press conferences were boring as hell. They can win 12 in a row. Bill's guaranteed to do two things. When he gets to the podium, he's going to adjust the mic no matter where that mic is. He's going to adjust it because that's just what he does. And those questions are about to be answered with 5 to 6 words. So, Bill, what did you think about the offense putting up 59 points? Well, they play good. That's it. That's it. That's it. When you've been to the top, you don't got it. You don't have to gloat. You don't have to blovate. It is what it is. And for 20 years, winning was expected in New England because that was the culture. But Raheem got to come out there and try and crack jokes. I knew you were going to ask that question. That's the one question I didn't want to answer, but I knew you were going to fucking answer the question. Fuck the bullshit. Answer the question. We don't need all this extra shit. You know, when you lose a game like this, you got to reflect. You got to go back and look at some things that you could have changed. Some things we got to tighten up. In a roundabout way, we didn't play good, and that's on me. That's on me. I'll take the blame for that. But we got to get sharp. We'll have a couple good practices, and then we'll get ready for Sunday. And I'm sitting there like, no, this ain't the guy for me. Well, you just came off of beating Buffalo and primetime TV and Washington, and people are looking at this team and they're like, what happened offensively? Have you talked to Zach? They just had a good game plan for us, and we just couldn't execute. We need to learn how to execute, and next Sunday or this Sunday coming up, we will execute. We will fix things that we need to fix. Bijan is not going to have a game like that again. They had a good game plan on how to stop Bijan, and from the first snap, we were kind of just out of sorts, and we were never really able to get that momentum back. And again, it's hard to play on the road too. So a lot of things happened for us to play the way that we played, and we were bad. Eyes rolling in the back of my head so far I can see my brain. See, that's why I love the old school, where coaches used to tell it how it was in the press conference. So what do you think about how you played out there, Coach? I mean, we sucked. We sucked. We couldn't do anything right. We didn't block right. We didn't, we just played terrible out there, man. We played absolutely terrible out there. I mean, coaches had emotion back in the day. Raheem gonna be smiling like this loss didn't mean anything. It's a conference loss that might have implications later on. It's going to be all smiles. We got to have, man, we got to have a coach in here, man, that players are ready to run through a wall for. And this is just real talk. If they play bad, they're going to get called out by it. If they play good, hey, man, good game. Let's get ready for next Sunday. There has to be an expectation of winning in Atlanta. There has to be an expectation of that. You see San Francisco penciled in, and then you see all these goddamn injuries. You should be like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille used to say, there was a certain team on the schedule. Hey, pass me the ball. I'm going for 35 and 10. Barbecue chicken. There were certain teams that Shaq saw the schedule. He already knew that was 35. He putting up 35 extra crispy. And what nobody giving them no flack. Big Love says when you say run through a wall, you don't mean the strip club wall, right? Hey, listen. They can run through a strip club wall and grab a 12 to 20 extra crispy lemon pepper wing combo. If we getting wins, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. But a lot of you look at what's going on in Detroit. Detroit wasn't even in the conversation of being a good team till they hired that coach. And that coach's first press conference, he was talking about biting people's knees off. Man, I remember at the time, like, boy, that's some off the wall shit to say at a press conference. Look at him now. Like, we gotta, and I mean, I think he was a first timer too. Problem with us is we picked the wrong first timers. But we need a guy that will do anything to get the dub. That reminds me, some people might not remember this, but I forgot his name, man. The original Karate Kid, the sensei of Cobra Kai, where he realized Daniel's son was out there spanking ass, and something was going on with the leg, though. And he went over there. Next time you get in there, sweep the leg. And the bully was looking. He had the bully shook. The bully sitting there like, what, sensei? Sweep the leg. And there was no expression on his face. None. And you know what that kid went out there and did? Swept the leg. We got to have one of them coaches. Just where it's just hard iron. Hey, listen, this is what we're going to do to get the win. I've been telling y'all, I will take a 15-yard penalty just to get a point across. I'll take it. Now, I wouldn't have my team continue to do that, but early in the first quarter, motherfucker thinking he coming through the middle of the field untouched, I'll take a 15. Because the next time he goes through the middle, he's going to be making a business decision. And don't think coaches don't do that. But I'm going to sit there, sweep the leg. I know it's 15. I know it's going to be 15. But you got to put that mentality into that other team. You ain't coming through the middle. If you come through the middle and catch it, man, I'll lift you up and shake your hand. But that first one on the house. That first one's on the house. You can expect a 15-yard penalty in the first quarter if I'm the coach. I'm sending a goddamn message. See, my roughing the passer ain't gonna be no bullshit. That's gonna be worth it, because I'm about to speed your clock up. Now, the first one's on the house. When y'all come back, hey, all right, let's play this thing clean now. But that first one on the house. So next time, one of them jokers hit one of them hard slants and think they're going to go up through the middle, they're going to think about how hard they got popped on that first one. But you got to have I'm from the old school. So tough-nosed coaches. And Bill was a tough-nosed coach. Raheem Morris is softer than cotton candy. He's softer than cotton candy. This man is 2-ply toilet paper. If he was some Angel Soft, we might be on to something. And if y'all know about toilet paper, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey, listen. I don't be judging nobody fair. I really don't. In a pinch. If I got to use some Angel Soft, God damn it, I'll use some Angel Soft. It's a lot easier on the ass than the newspaper. But if I got an option, I ain't picking up no goddamn Angel Soft. I ain't picking up no Angel Soft, bro. That's why you can go over to Dollar General and get a 36 roll count of Angel Soft for like $7. But that high shit, that Charmin and up, right? 4 rolls. 4 rolls gonna run you $10. People like, God damn, that's a. Hey, listen, it's easier on the ass, bro. That Angel Soft gonna take you up and through there. Ray says, "What about militant, man? Don't even, bruh. Listen, you might as well go to Panera. You might as well go to Panera and grab you a couple of napkins. You might as well grab you a couple of napkins, or you fuck with that military shit." Oh, but yeah, I'll mess with that. Hold on for a second, fam. All right, I'm back. I don't mess with that Angel Soft. And they've started doing all kinds of stuff to kind of sexy up Angel Soft. Oh, it's scented now. Oh, it smells like lavender. This smells like vanilla. Man, it still hit their ass the same. Yeah, your boy is Charmin Soft. When's the last time you saw Raheem actually mad on the sidelines? When's the last time, fam? Rodney says I had to use a leaf one time as a kid. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna bounce because I got some stuff to do. Speaking of that, so funny story, but true story. I might have told this before. So back back, back in 2020, right? I was doing Uber. I was doing Uber and Lyft. Hold on, hold on. All right, I'm back. I was doing Uber and Lyft. I drop a customer off, and I all of a sudden I had to use the bathroom. I had to shit. So I'm like, man, maybe I can make it to the house. Because I was heading back home anyway. But I was like, maybe I can, wait till I get to the house. Now I'm downtown. I stayed in McDonough, which was not down the street. Bro, I jump on the highway. As soon as I jump on the highway, my stomach turns upside down. Right. So it went from I can make it to the house to I gotta find me a bush because I was in dire straits. And downtown don't really have a lot of gas stations at all. They have maybe 2 or 3 that I know for sure, but for the most part, they don't have any. I had already went through downtown, right? So I'm like, okay, I got a roll of toilet paper in the back. So I'm like, I might have to go off in the brush and take care of this. But I'm like, man, fuck that, man. I gotta find something. So I end up getting off the next exit and I'm driving and driving and driving and looking for a gas station. Dude, I felt like I was about to shit on myself. I make a left and there's a gas station. I swear it looked like there was a gas station and lights from heaven pouring down on that gas station. I'm stuck at a goddamn light. So I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I know y'all have all been through this. If you're trying to use the bathroom and you're in the car, you'll start tapping, like you'll start tapping your foot to kind of, regulate your body or whatever. Man, I'm tapping. I got my ass off the seat. I'm trying to think of other stuff. This was the longest light in the history of lights, bro. That thing turned green. My thought process is fuck this. If I get a ticket, I get a ticket. I got to get it. So I get to the gas station, run in. Hey man, y'all got a toilet? Right there, buddy. Okay, fine. Bruh, I ran in there. I did usually, if I use a public bathroom, I'm taking toilet paper. I'm cleaning the seat. I don't care. I don't care if the seat looks clean. I'm cleaning the seat. I'm putting like 2 or 3 layers of toilet paper on all the sides, and I'm gonna sit my happy ass there. Fuck the dumb shit. Bro, I had to get the pants off. I had to get, soon as I got the pants off, all of it came out. I'm talking about, dude, my stomach unloaded. And I know if there was somebody directly outside of the door, they heard that. Because I was making sound effects off in there. You know, when you get a good one off, it's, shit. Whew. It's one of those. I think that motherfucker had Angel Soft in there. That's all I'm saying. With that being said, and done, fam, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all have a great one. I'll talk to y'all sometime this week. Peace.